ahead and start the recording. You can always go back and listen to the recording at a later date. I put them in the YouTube channel, so after it uploads to YouTube, I'm going to place a link into the into Canvas. I'll also email it to you because I know you guys don't have access to Canvas quite yet. Miss Sandra is working on it for you. So I will go ahead and just email you the link if you want to go back and look at it. Also, as a reminder for those who weren't in quite yet, who weren't able to get in, next Monday is a holiday. There will be no class on Monday. You do not have to log in, enjoy your holiday, but there will be a recorded lecture. So the recorded lecture is going to be placed into the YouTube channel. It'll also be placed, I'll put a link in Canvas for you so you can look. It hasn't been, I haven't completed the recording as of yet, so, but it will be in there soon, all right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and I love it for you guys. I mean, just make sure that everyone is on camera. Okay, I'm seeing some folks not on camera. Mr. Steele, make sure you're on camera.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, make sure everyone is on camera every day. No camera shy, folks. Everyone's on camera. Miss Williams, I see you're not on camera. If you can get on camera for me. Alrighty. So feel free to chime on in. I love it when you guys chime in. I'm gonna figure out how to share my screen one of these days here. Here we go. And I'm now going to share my screen and we are going to start with A&P.
Dr. Ross.
Yes, yes.
Is it this book?
Hold on, I can't see you. Hold on, I'm going back because I'm sharing my screen, so I may not be able to see you. Hold on just for a second. Okay, and who's that talking?
Lovely.
Lovely, okay. It should be the I think it's an anatomy physiology book, has a person, a picture of a person kind of leaning, has a, let me see you, Lovely, put it up and I can see you. There you go, structure and function. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So go ahead and crack that plastic and bend back that seam, because nothing drives me and Mrs. Duhan and Mrs. Jokes more nuts than we have these wonderful textbooks and you guys are not reading them. So go ahead and crack those spines, okay? And utilize your textbook. All right, so let's go ahead and start. And for the first thing that we're going to do, I want you to chime in the chat, guys. We're going to name these movies using emojis. So go ahead and chime into the chat. All right, guys, ready? What's this first movie? Go ahead and chime into the chat. Don't say it. Go write it in the chat.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay, we only got 4 people got it right. Come on here. There we go. Awesome. All right, here's the next one. What's this movie?
Okay.
It's an old movie. Somebody said Mad Cow, I guess. That is a Mad Cow, huh? Angry Bull.
Mad Cow too.
Mad Cow, Angry Bull. Okay, all that stuff works. Okay, Sitting Bull. Okay, somebody got Sitting Bull. Mad Cow, Angry Cow. Okay, I'll buy it. All right, next one. What's this one? Awesome movie. If you have not seen it, my recommendations. My recommendations. Awesome movie. All right. All right. We got some answers there. Okay. Good deal. All right. Let's keep going. All right. What's this one? Oh, somebody said no clue, huh? Okay. Who's this supposed to be? I don't know who that's supposed to be.
I don't know. It looks like
I don't know who that guy's supposed to be. I know who that is. That is. I don't know who he is. Okay. All right. Next one.
Move, darling. Move.
The tiger looks a little suspect, doesn't he? Looks a little shady. I don't know about him. I don't trust him. All right, good deal. Somebody said lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, okay. All right, who's this? And what's this?
Oh my God. Yeah.
It is. All right. Awesome. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Okay. What's this one?
What in the world?
Somebody said Smokey the Bear. Okay. All right. Next. All right. And last but not least, that's an alien head. I know it's hard to see. That's an alien head. We got a whole bunch of choices on this one. Okay, you guys ready for the answers? We got a whole bunch of answers. Okay, all right, good deal. Let's go. Let's go. The first movie was Snakes on a Plane. All right. Okay. The second movie was Raging Bull. Yeah, it's an old movie. The third one was, that should be Wolf on Wall Street, not Raging Bull. That was Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, which is this one?
Little
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid. Like I said, I don't know who this guy is. Who this will be? Flounder, I guess. That doesn't look like Flounder. Okay, next. Winnie the Pooh, or the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. We'll take either one. All right, who is this? Harry Potter. What was this one?
Jaws.
Jaws. And this is Ted.
Oh Lord.
I know, he's taking medication, I guess. Say that the nice way. And smoking and having a couple of beers, right? All righty. And this one was Titanic. And last, this one was Avatar. Blue alien.
It wasn't 18. Wow.
No, the blue alien. That was supposed to be the color blue and an alien. Okay, Avatar.
Oh.
All right, so we've already reviewed the syllabus and calendar. Just a reminder, when you guys get access to Canvas, I'll always put reminders up just to remind you what's coming for the next couple of weeks. So just know you have that A&P quiz that I'm going to do on Saturday at 11:50, and that one's going to be found in Canvas, ladies and gents, okay? All righty, so let's go ahead and start. We've already done our introductions. I forgot we did that already.
You put Idris on there.
Okay. Yeah. Idris, yeah, he's always a standard on there. He's always a standard on there. Okay, we did that already. Okay, and then just a reminder, no class for Labor Day. There'll be a recorded lecture for you. Okay. And you guys should have you guys gotten your invitations to Canvas in your emails?
Yes.
Okay,
I got
okay,
the
awesome.
invitation and I'm able to log in. However, when it comes for the 3-minute paper, I can't type anything.
Okay, no worries, because I think I still have it as a PDF. So the 3-minute paper,
Okay.
I'll take a look at for you guys. Okay. All righty, so let's do a little introduction to anatomy and physiology. And for those of you who have already taken it, just accept this as a wonderful review for you, okay? All righty, so what is anatomy, guys? If you were to define it for your young child or for, a person who doesn't know, what is anatomy? What is it?
It's the way our body works.
Not the way our body works, close. That's another word, but what is
Study of the
anatomy?
structure and relationship between body parts.
There you go, absolutely. So anatomy is the study of the structure of an organism and how it relates to its parts, okay? So anatomy would be more so, the heart is located in the left side of the chest. You have 2 eyes. The liver is located in the upper right quadrant of the abdomen, okay? That's anatomy. Physiology, on the other hand, is the study of the function of the body. I'll say that again. Physiology is the study of the function of the body. So now to describe that and put that into an explanation, anatomy is the heart is in the left side of the chest. Physiology is the heart contains 4 chambers that pump either deoxygenated or oxygenated blood from the lungs to back to the heart, and from the heart back to the rest of the body. So do you guys understand? Anatomy is more so the structure. Physiology is the function. And how did, way back in the day, how did scientists determine anatomy and physiology? You know, they didn't have X-ray machines and CTs and MRIs. They had to dissect the body, absolutely. So it was determined by dissection. It was determined by dissection, which was the principal technique that was used at the time. So dissection was utilized to isolate and study those components. So they waited till a person died, and then they went ahead, cut open the body, and that's how they learned, right? That's how they kind of learned exactly what's going on. All right. So now that we're talking so much about anatomy, and now this class is not going to be, you know, anatomy 1 where you just learn anatomy, and then anatomy physiology 2 is you learn physiology. We imbue them together. So you're going to kind of be learning them side by side and parallel to each other. The first thing I want to go over are the levels of organization of an organism, the levels of organization for an organism. So I'm going to talk about it from the smallest units to the largest units, from the smallest units to the largest units. Now let's use ourselves as a reference. We are the organism, correct? The smallest unit of organization is chemical, and we're all made of chemicals, correct? So can you give me some chemicals that we as humans are made up of? Throw out some chemicals, ladies and gents.
H2O.
Okay, H2O, I'll buy that. Even though, what is H2O? H2O is a compound. So what is H2O if you broke it up? It is hydrogen and oxygen, absolutely. So we are made of hydrogen and we're made of oxygen. What other chemicals are we made of?
Carbon dioxide.
Well, that's a compound. So that's going to be, we're made of carbon and oxygen again. What about nitrogen?
Yeah.
Sulfur? Even gold.
Potassium.
Potassium, absolutely. Sodium, chloride, absolutely. So we're made up of all of those chemicals, correct? Okay, so now when you have a bunch of chemicals combined, they begin to form cells. So the next largest level of organization are cells. Okay. Ready? And we have several different kinds of cells, and as we talk about those different body parts, systems, we'll go over the different kinds of cells that are in specialized cells that are utilized for different things in the body. So now if you have a group of cells linked together, that creates tissue. If you have a bunch of cells linked together, that creates tissue. Now, if you have a bunch of like-minded tissues, a bunch of like-minded tissues together, that creates an organ. Okay? So cardiac tissue is going to be utilized to create the heart, your arteries, your veins, your capillaries. So tissue is usually specialized to create an organ. So in other words, I couldn't take liver tissue and put it next to the heart and expect it to work. Does that make sense to you? Because tissue is very specialized. That's what makes it tissue devoted to an organ. Now, what do you have, ladies and gents, when you have a group of organs that work together as a family? What is that? What do you call those?
Organ systems.
Those are going to be your organ systems. And the reason that we group systems together is because think about it like a family, right? we're all individuals for the most part, and we all have our individual families, right? And what makes, like for me, what makes the Rosses, we have very similar traits. We may look alike, we may act alike, we may come from the same region. There's something that is specific to the Rosses that makes us a system, okay? Same thing with your body systems. Your circulatory system is grouped in such a way that it all does the same thing, right? So the circulatory system is responsible for oxygenated blood, deoxygenated blood, the circulation of nutrients, the distribution of nutrients, things like that, okay? And then when you have a group of systems together, that creates the organism. That creates the organism. All right, you guys picking up what I'm putting down?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna go back. What is the smallest? Talk me through the levels. What is the smallest?
Chemical level.
Okay, chemical now,
Cells.
cellular,
Cells.
and now
Tissue.
Tissue.
level, and now
Organ.
Organ.
level, and then
Organ system.
system or organ system level, and then we have the
Organism.
organism. Fantastic. All righty. So now I want to talk a little bit about scientific method. And this is as nurses and because nurses are scientists, as nurses, as scientists, as STEM sort of people, we utilize a process called the scientific method. And this is what we've utilized for years as nurses, nurse educators, nurse professionals to determine certain procedures and evidence-based practice that works for our field and what doesn't work for our field, okay? So I want to kind of go over the scientific method, and a lot of you have probably covered this in your science courses, you know, when you were in science. How do we know? Let's say, for example, we're a group of scientists, right? We're the CHCP scientists, and we want to know. Let's see, what would be a question we want to know? Is Bigfoot real? Is Bigfoot real? I'm just coming up with some absolutely crazy, right? So the first part of is Bigfoot real is we have to come up with a hypothesis. And a hypothesis is a reasonable guess based on any previous information that might have come in before we decide to determine whether Bigfoot is real. So, you know, if you watch YouTube channels or Unsolved Mysteries, or you watch, what's that movie that came out for the kids, Bigfoot or whatever, that's where we can get some information, right? So our hypothesis is the guess that we may have about a particular thing that we want to know. So for my hypothesis, I'm going to say that Bigfoot is real because I watch YouTube and I watch movies and I live in the frozen tundra. So Bigfoot is real. Okay, that's my hypothesis. That's my reasonable guess. After I have my reasonable guess, I need to provide some experiments, right? I need to do a little research so that I can determine whether Bigfoot is real. So experimentation is after you have determined or proposed that hypothesis, I have to test it, right? So this is the way that I'm gonna test it. So that means I'm gonna move up to Canada and I'm gonna sleep out in the tundra and I'm gonna set cameras out and those little things you see on TV, the strings where they trip over and it sets off things. And, you know, I guess I watch too much Bugs Bunny, but you know, you have the little string, you trip over the string and it does that. And I'm going to research and sit out in my cabin. I'm going to ask people if they've seen Bigfoot and things like that. That's going to be my experimentation. So I do that for about 6 months. Now it's time for my results, right? So I'm going to sit there and give my information about my results, correct? So I'm gonna say after that 6 months, I sat up there and I didn't see anything but bears, a couple of moose, maybe some mountain lions. I don't know what the heck is up in Canada. And that's what I'm gonna see as my results, okay? And then my conclusion is gonna be a result of my results. So no, I didn't see any kind of Bigfoot. So my conclusion is to state it is against my hypothesis that Bigfoot is indeed not real. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Now also oftentimes, and this is going to tie a lot into pharmacology as well, even though this is not pharmacology and pharmacology. when they're doing scientific discovery or scientific experimentation, we sometimes can use a test group and a control group, a test group and a control group. So let's say I begin to create a medication called Rocinol. I'm making this medication and it cures COVID, okay? It cures COVID and I'm testing Rocinol, okay? There is going to be two sets of group, a test group and a control group. The test group is gonna get Rocinol to see if it works. The control group is probably maybe going to get a substitute. So they may get a placebo. So they may get maybe an M&M. And so I'm going to give my test group Rocinol. I'm going to give my control group M&Ms. And let's see which treats COVID. Does that make sense? Now, for the most part, if the test group has significant findings that COVID symptoms are mitigated and controlled, it's fair to say that perhaps Rocinol may work. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, no, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. So make sure you know that those different terms and know your difference between test group and control group. Right? Okay, so now I want to move on to anatomical position. And we utilize anatomical position to identify how the location of a specific body part relates to one another. And anytime we are referring to anatomical position, your patient is sitting like this and you are looking at them head on. So when you're referring to a patient's right arm, you're referring to a patient, you're looking at them head on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Yes, ma'am.
So we also utilize directional terms to do this. We also utilize directional terms to do this. So I'm going to go over it. And usually as nurses, anytime that we assess a patient, you want to do it very systematically. And we tend to start from the head and move our way down to the feet. From the head and down to the feet. It doesn't make sense to start the stomach and then maybe look at an arm and then look at the head and then look at the feet because you may miss something. But if you start from the head and work your way down, your chances are will not miss anything. All right, so let's look at some directional terms, ladies and gents. And I want you to learn this jargon because this is how we, as nurses, we identify location. So I'm not gonna necessarily say closer or further. I'm gonna say distal or more proximal, all righty? So the same thing applies. And remember, you're looking head on to your patient, but you're identifying their right and their left. So right and left remains exactly the same, but as you as the person looking on is going to be opposite, right? So it's going to be the person's right and the person's left. That does not change. The term superior means toward, not really toward the head, I'll say up because there is another term that refers to toward the head. But superior means up and inferior means down. Okay, so are the knees superior or inferior to the feet?
Superior.
They're superior because they're higher, correct? All right, good job. Midline of the body is always dividing the body part into two equal sides, left and right. So this is midline. So if we have a midline incision, it's going to be anywhere right down the middle of this person's midline body. Okay. Anything going toward the midline is considered medial. Considered medial. Anything moving away from the midline is considered lateral. Is considered lateral. Picking up what I'm putting down? All right, good deal. Distal means further away from the core or the midline of the body. Not midline, I'll say core of the body. And proximal means closer. So if we're looking at this young lady's arm, is her wrist more distal or more proximal to her elbow?
Distal.
Her wrist is more distal because it's further away from the core of the body. So here's the difference. Medial is medial and lateral are closer or further away from the midline. Distal and proximal are further away from the core. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so are her eyes more distal or proximal to her nose?
Proximal.
Closer. So
Her
proximal.
eyes to her nose. Her eyes are more
Oh, distal away.
more
Distal.
distal because this is her trunk. This is her trunk. Pick it up what I'm putting down? This is her trunk. Okay. So now let's turn our patient on the side. Anything on the front part of the body is anterior. Anterior. Anything on the back side is posterior. Posterior. Now, usually we don't use ventral and dorsal. That's more so for animals, but they'll have it up there because usually we'll see more so ventral side of a dog or dorsal side of a dog or dorsal fin of a fish or whatever the heck. Usually we use it more so for animals, but I still want you to identify to be able to know that this is the anterior side, the side with the face. Dorsal side is with the back of the head. Okay. Alrighty. We also utilize body planes. Now these become integral when we're ordering x-rays, when we're ordering CTs, when we're ordering MRIs, okay? They also help you to identify, you know, where individual organs are cut. So say, for example, if the doc orders an MRI and he wants to look at a certain cut of an organ, maybe he wants to look at the heart, a certain cut of the heart, because he wants to determine maybe valves or something, whether there's dysfunction for valves. There's different body planes. So the first body plane that I want to talk about, is the frontal plane. And the frontal plane, as you see here, just imagine that it is an imaginary slice. This is like, say, a piece of glass and it cut through the patient. A frontal or coronal plane divides the anterior and the posterior part of the body. It divides the anterior, the front, or the posterior or the back part of the body. That's a frontal plane or frontal cut. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good deal. A transverse plane is a horizontal plane, and it divides the top of the body or the superior portion of the body to the inferior. Now, it doesn't have to be mid, because it can be legs, it can be chest, it can be the head. But just know transverse is a horizontal cut that divides top from bottom. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have a sagittal cut. A sagittal cut is a vertical cut that divides the left side of the body from the right side. That is a sagittal cut. Okay. Now there are some small caveats that I want to add to each one of these planes.
Dr. Russ, could you go over the mid-sagittal divides left side of the body?
From right, not mid-sagittal, sagittal.
Sagittal.
Sagittal, I'm getting ready to add the little caveat for you.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can also have a mid-frontal, a mid-transverse, and a mid-sagittal cut. A mid-frontal cut is going to divide the body from anterior to posterior directly down the middle of the person's body, straight down the middle. A mid-transverse cut is going to cut them directly at the waist, right in the middle, where you have exactly 50% above and 50% below. And then lastly, a mid-sagittal cut cuts them directly down the middle, where you have 50% on the left and 50% on the right. Okay. All right, so let's review. What's the difference between sagittal and mid-sagittal?
Mid-sagittal is directly down the middle.
Directly down the middle versus sagittal, which is just left and right. We can have a sagittal cut on the arm, right?
Yes.
And it wouldn't divide the patient. It wouldn't be a mid-sagittal cut, but it would be a sagittal cut.
Right.
All right, good deal. All right, let's keep moving. Your body also is divided into two major cavities. You have the dorsal and the ventral cavity. So the ventral, remember we said ventral is toward the front or the anterior portion of the body. And within the ventral cavity, which is this red area here, you have some subcavities. Okay, so once again, ventral cavity is the front part of the body, anterior portion of the body. Within the ventral cavity, which is this entire red area here, we have the mediastinum. We have the mediastinum. And then we also have the pleural cavity. And all of that is in the all of those items are in the thoracic cavity. So within the thoracic cavity, we have the lungs, the heart, the mediastinum, the diaphragm is more the divider. But all of those things are in the thoracic cavity, your heart, your lungs, your ribs, okay? The diaphragm, ladies and gents, is the divider, your diaphragm. And your diaphragm is just a muscle that sits underneath the ribs and pushes your lungs up and pushes them down. And we'll talk more so about that when we get to respiratory. Below the diaphragm is the abdominal cavity. Sometimes it can be combined as abdominal pelvic, but for here, we're gonna just say the abdominal cavity. And what do you think is in the abdominal cavity? My favorite organ, the stomach. Woo, yes, because I love to eat the stomach, right? What else might be floating around the abdominal cavity? Say again?
Intestines.
Your intestines, both small and large. What else might be sticking around in there?
Your liver.
Your liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, all of those good things, right? So almost your whole digestive tract is in there, okay? And then underneath the abdominal cavity, you have your pelvic cavity. And within your pelvic cavity is all of your repro stuff. Now, there is one exception to the rule that actually is repro or your urinary that exists in the abdominal cavity, and that's going to be your kidneys, because your kidneys do sit up a little bit higher. But in the pelvic cavity, you're going to have your bladder, you're going to have your ovaries, you're going to have your testes, you're going to have your penis, well, not penis, but the testes, the prostate, those things like that, the rectum, that all fits in the pelvic cavity. And then on the back side of the body, or the posterior portion of the body, we have the dorsal cavity. And within the dorsal cavity, we have the brain and spinal cord, okay? And that's the yellow here. So within the cranial cavity, we have our brain. And then in the spinal cavity, we have the vertebral column, which has our spinal cord, as well as the vertebrae themselves. Okay? Any questions? Yeah, no, yeah?
No.
All right, good deal. Now, these are some of the 9 abdominal regions. I could care less if you know it, so I'm going to skip right past it because nobody really cares about that. Who gives a crap about that? But what I do want you to know are the 4 main abdominal pelvic quadrants. And usually as nurses, this is more for gastroenterologists. Who cares? That's not us. We are nurses. So we're going to do quadrants. So usually, and remember, everything is based on the patient. So this is the patient's left, patient's right. We have left upper quadrant, right upper quadrant, right lower quadrant, left lower quadrant. And when we start covering what's in each of these quadrants, it becomes integral for you to hold on to that A&P, to that anatomy and physiology, but anatomy, because when a patient complains of, say, right upper quadrant pain, you need to know what organ's there. Okay? You need to know what organ's there. Now, if you're trying to fill it in, it's the liver. So if a patient starts having some abdominal swelling, especially if it's a little uneven on this side and it hurts, and they start telling you, yeah, I drink a gallon of rum every day, yeah, probably your liver there, Sparky, because we know exactly what sits in that quadrant. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. All right, good deal. I'm going to talk a little bit about the skeleton, just a little bit about the skeleton, ladies and gents, and we'll do more so in musculoskeletal, but let's talk about the skeleton. Yeah, now your skeleton is divided into axial and appendicular. Axial and appendicular. The axial skeleton is everything that's going to be to your midline. Everything that's going to be to your midline. So that's going to contain every bone in your head. It's going to include your neck, your hyoid, but that's in your neck. That includes your vertebral column and your rib cages. Everything that is in the core of your body. All right. Now, let me ask you this. I'm gonna give somebody a gold star. And if you've already taken A&P, hush. But for those who haven't taken A&P, what is the role of the axial skeleton? Look at what it actually, look at it. What do you think the main role of it? Kind of look at what it does. What's the role of it?
Provide structure.
It does.
Support your body.
But look at it.
Provides protection.
Support your
There we
body.
go. Protection. Because think about, who was that? Who said that?
Cindy,
Cindy. Gold star for Cindy. Because think about what is inside the skull.
your brain.
Well, it depends on the person, right? Depends on the person, right? But for most of us, we have a brain. So there might be some hot air floating around, maybe a couple of marbles. But for the most part, the skull, the brain. So the skull provides protection to the brain. What does the rib cage protect?
The lungs.
The lungs, the heart, okay? And what does the vertebral column protect?
The spinal cord.
Spinal cord. Spinal cord, absolutely. So we have all of those protectionary measures, okay? All right, and then we have the appendicular skeleton. Oh, a lot of background noise there, guys.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time listening.
Oh, okay. Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can, but there's a lot of background noise.
Oh, okay, let me see who's making that noise and we'll put them on mute. Okay, somebody, whoever's making the noise there, if you can go on mute. I don't like muting everybody. I want you guys to be interactive, but if you know you guys got all that noise, mute in the back. Okay, and then we have the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton is everything that's not the axial. It's everything that's not axial. So those are going to be. Okay, I think that is that you, Miss Guerra? No, I don't know who's making that noise. That's okay. So, so that's going to be your arms. That's going to be your clavicle. That's going to be every other bone, your pelvic girdle, your acetabulum.
I can't hear you, Dr. Ross.
Say again?
I can't hear you. I don't
Okay,
know.
let me go ahead and just mute everybody because there's a whole bunch of feedback. I hate to mute you guys. I really like to get you interactive. Hold on, let me just mute everybody. Hold on, give me just a second, Rooney. Okay. All right. So put your finger up if you can hear me still. Yeah. Okay, good deal. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go on back. And I'm sorry to have to mute you guys. All righty. So that's going to be everything else that's not axial. So those will be all your arm muscles, all your arm bones, your pelvic girdle, your legs, your arms, your clavicle, your scapula, all of those things. Okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about homeostasis. And your body thrives on normalcy, right? Homeostasis loves to keep your body absolutely normal. It doesn't like fluctuations, right? So I'm gonna have to unmute you because I need your assistance with this one. Let me unmute you guys. For homeostasis, let's talk about normalcy. If you guys, we live in Texas, right? And what do we know about Texas? It is hot. So if you go out when it's hot, your body gets hot, how does it respond to being hot? You sweat. And why do you sweat? What is the purpose of sweat? What does your body think it is doing when it sweats?
Cooling us off.
It thinks it's cool. Well, it does, but it's cooling you down, right? So if it emits and elicits fluids that come out of your pores, water cools you down, right? So that's what it expects. It hopes to cool you down so that it can mediate your body temperature. Okay. Also, let me ask you this, for example. You guys go jogging. It doesn't have to be hot, but you go jogging, right? You're out there, you're working out, you're doing your Zumba at home, okay? What happens? Think about if you're doing some strenuous activity. What happens to your body? Talk to me about what happens.
Isn't there like a hormone like antidiuretic? No?
Okay, yeah, but we're going too far with that one. We're going to go real simple. We're going to go real simple. If you guys have done Zumba, when you finish Zumba, how do you feel? Tired, so you're probably breathing faster, correct?
Right.
Do you kind of breathe heavy?
Mhm.
Yes,
Why are you breathing heavy?
because
Why are you
I'm
breathing
fat.
heavy? Because what?
Because I'm fat.
No, not because you're fat. Cut that out. Cut that out. But why would even a skinny person doing or a healthy person doing Zumba get, get so tired and
Your
weak?
heart rate.
The heart is racing.
Heart rate
Heart goes up.
Your pressure is up. Your lungs are inflating and deflating.
There you go. So you're breathing heavier, and the reason you're breathing heavier is because you got to get more oxygen in your body. Does that make sense? Because you've depleted oxygen by exercising. So you've got to get more oxygen in your body so you can breathe heavier, correct? So that's your body's way of trying to get itself back to as normal as possible. So it's going to breathe in as much as it possibly can. Also, have you guys ever gotten a haircut? Not like a trim, but a significant haircut. When you significantly cut your hair, what happens initially? It grows like wildfire because your body likes normalcy. It has gotten accustomed to your hair being to your shoulders, so it's going to try its best to get it back to your shoulders. But after a while, if you keep getting your hair cut, will it continue to grow just as fast?
No.
No, because it realizes that short hair is your norm. Okay? So now your body uses what we call feedback loops in order to get back to normalcy. Okay? Your body uses feedback loops to get to normalcy. I think about it like your home thermostat. When you guys turn your home thermostat down to 71, your body has, so your house has a thermostat and it also has a thermometer, right? So you have a thermostat and a thermometer. The thermometer is gonna pick up the temperature in the house and the thermostat is gonna adjust it accordingly. So when you turn the thermostat down to 71, the thermometer is going to keep the air on until it reaches 71. Does that make sense? Your body does the exact same thing. If your pressure is high, it's going to do everything it possibly can to get you back down to normalcy. So the first type of feedback I want to talk about is negative feedback. And that's what you're going to mostly see in your body. Something is funky and your body is going to correct it. Your blood pressure is high. So your body's going to try to open up your blood vessels to lower your blood pressure. Your body is going to maybe, like whoever that was that said the antidiuretic hormone, it's going to stop secreting antidiuretic hormone so that it's going to increase the levels of the antidiuretic hormone so that you can urinate it off. Okay, so your body is going to see something negative and try to correct itself. That's how bodies work. The only instance, hint, hint, wink, wink, where you will see positive feedback, where something is wrong and your body makes it worse, is during contractions. The only positive feedback loop where something is bad in the body and your body makes it worse are with contractions. Okay? When the female body is giving birth and begins to start having contractions, the body begins to secrete a hormone called oxytocin. The body begins to secrete a hormone called oxytocin. Unfortunately, or fortunately for those of you who have kids, what happens when the body gets oxytocin? What does it do?
Enhance it.
It makes the contractions worse. What were you saying, Ms. Brockers? It does what?
It makes the contraction stronger.
It makes the contractions stronger. Does that make sense? So the more contractions your body has, the more oxytocin your body secretes, making the contractions worse. So I guess your body is saying, get this kid out of me ASAP. Okay? Now there is an exogenous or a fakey oxytocin that we give in the hospital called Pitocin. Absolutely, Pitocin. So we utilize Pitocin when moms are not progressing in their contractions. Okay?
I had that with both kids and I hated it.
And hated it because it makes it worse. And on top of giving Pitocin, your body is naturally secreting less, even though you may not be progressing very far, your body's still going to secrete small levels of Pitocin. Okay, so let's go ahead and have ourselves a little break because I think we're doing okay on time. We're going to have ourselves a little break. Come back at 11, and don't forget at 11, please be sure to type your name into the chat. Okay, so let's take a little break and come back at 11, ladies and gents, okay? You all fine? Okay, beautiful folks, let's get back. Make sure everyone is on camera, on camera. Everybody type into the chat, and whoever's not on camera, I'm starting to tell. Let me look, I'm going through. Let me see who's not on camera. Miss Ralph, oh, there she is. She's popping on in there. Let's see who else. Okay, awesome. Also, guys, I believe I have to go look that your books have come. So if you happen to be near the campus for the next few hours, you can pick up your books. If not, don't worry about it. We'll get them. We'll get your books to you. We'll set up a date, or if you want to wait till Thursday and Friday when you come up. My only concern is that I know you want to start reading, so it's my concern. But I'll be on campus tomorrow. So, and you guys have my cell number. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind, while you're thinking about it, that might be even better for me. Would you guys mind texting me now your number so that I can create a text group? If you wouldn't mind texting me now, I'll put my number in the chat real quick. And Miss Ralph, make sure you type your full name for me when you type in the chat for attendance. Please type your full name for me. I
do
put
have
my
a question,
number in the
Dr. Ross.
Chat is 832-689-6704. If you can send me a text with your name so that I can save your number and name and create a chat group for us.
Dr. Ross.
Yes.
Are the books that we have, the structure and function book, is that not the book that you're talking about?
No, it is. Some people didn't get them. So if you have them, you're good. But if you're missing your pharmacology, which will be tomorrow, your care plan book, you can pick that up, but you don't need that right now. But you do need that pharmacology book. So I believe they're there. I'm waiting for the receptionist to text me. It shows that they were delivered, to have them accounted for. Once they are indeed accounted for, I'll be up there tomorrow, probably about 10. You can text me, but you guys will be in class. So hold on, let me try to schedule it. So you know what, I'll come in later if you want to. I'll come in later because class is over at 3:30 for me. If you want to come up about 4, between 4 and 5 to pick up your book, I'll hang around for you. If not, you can pick them up on Thursday and Friday when you come in. Okay, but I know you guys may want to start your reading. Okay.
And then you said the pack with like the needles and stuff, that isn't, we wait on that?
That's on back order. So you actually won't need that until a little bit later on. I just found out that's on back order, so you won't need that. I think it's kind of short across because of the shortages, because all it's going to contain is like needles and syringes and things, and needles and syringes because of the hospitals are all on back order. So in push come to shove, we have a bunch of them in the in the lab, so we can utilize those. But you do get them because it does come with as part of your tuition. So when they're on back order, when they are no longer on back order, we'll get them for you.
Dr. Ross, did we have to get a stethoscope?
It's in your pack. It should be in there. It should be in there. I know your Sphygmo is in there. Your stethoscope should
I haven't checked in the bag yet, so I don't know what's in there, but okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, no worries. But I did see your Sphygmo, so I know that's in there. So chances are your stethoscope should be in there for you. Okay. Okay, so make sure everyone texts me their information. I'll go ahead and create the chat group. All right, so let's go ahead and continue.
Dr. Ross.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
don't be sorry.
Are we gonna have work this week of the pharmacology book, or would it be okay to wait until Thursday?
It's okay to wait. I just thought you wanted to get, there's no assignment. Your Pharm Made Easy assignment, I'll go over that tomorrow with you. I think it's not due until week 3, but I know I don't want you guys to fall behind in any of your reading at all. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're welcome. So for A&P, once you get in, you can start reading. I think it's chapter 1 and I think it's 1, 2, and 5. 1, 2, and 5. So if you have your pharmacology book, you can get cranking there. But also the chapters are in your calendar. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to continue on. And let's go ahead and knock this out. And we're going to just do a quick and dirty preview. Make sure you all sign into the chat. Quick and dirty preview of all of the organ systems, okay? And of course, with A&P, we're going to do a little bit more. Each week, we'll do more delving into those systems. But let's go ahead and do a quick and dirty. All righty. So we talked a little bit about organs versus organ systems. So we know that organs are 2 or more tissue types. So that's going to be, and usually they're very specific in their function. So heart tissue and Artery tissue is pretty much the same, and that what kind of makes it part of similar systems, right? But heart tissue and heart tissue are going to be exactly the same. That's what makes them an organ, okay? The skin is the largest organ of the body. The skin is the largest organ of the body. And the definition of an organ is a special and complex function of the body, right? So skin is part of largest organ of the body. And then when you have a combination of organs that do similar function, then that's when you're going to have your organ systems. And of course, organ systems work better when having all organs than just working alone. So for the most part, there are 11 major organ systems that we are going to cover. Now, some we're going to combine because they're very similar in nature, but for the most part, we have 11 major organ systems that we're going to cover. The integumentary, and can you give me some organs? Are you guys unmuted? Let me make sure my babies are all unmuted. No, you rascals are muted. I'm unmuting everybody. There we go. I need some participation. All righty, pumpkins. Let's go on back. Give me some organs that are in the integumentary system. Skin. Okay, what else?
Your nails.
Your nails. Your who?
Hair.
Your hair, absolutely. That is all part of the integumentary system. Okay, good deal. And then what about the skeletal? You know what? I'm going to save the different organs. I'm going to save the different organs. Yeah, let's do it now. The skeletal system. And what? Give me some organs in the skeletal system.
Your ribs.
Your ribs.
Cranium.
Your who?
Cranium.
Your clavicle, your cranium, right? Your skull. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And then we have the muscular system. Give me some organs in the muscular system, guys.
Femur.
No, that's not a muscle.
Heart.
No, the heart's not considered. It's a muscle, but it's not considered in the muscular system.
Tricep.
Oh,
When you go to the gym to look good.
Your biceps.
Your biceps, your triceps, your glutes, your gluteus maximus and your gluteus minimus, right? That's why you go to the gym, do your squats, so you can be getting that gluteus minimus and the gluteus maximus popping, right? So you can wear your tight pants, okay? What about the nervous system? What organs are included in the nervous system?
Hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus, but part of the hypothalamus is the brain, right? So the hypothalamus is an organ. It's a part of the brain itself. What else is included in the nervous system?
I was just thinking about it.
Spinal cord.
Could be your
Spinal cord. Spinal cord. And what else? What veers off of the spinal cord?
Your spinal nerves.
Your nerves, absolutely. Your nerves, good deal. And then we have the endocrine system. Can you give me some organs in the endocrine system?
The
Your hormones?
All your hormone stuff, right? So what are those organs?
Your thymus.
Your thyroid.
Parathyroid.
Your parathyroid. Your pancreas. Your ovaries. Testes. Okay, so they have dual function, right? Because they're also part of another organ system. Absolutely. And then we have the cardiovascular or circulatory system. And what organs are included there?
Your heart.
Your heart. What else? Your who?
lung.
Lungs.
Your arteries and your veins.
Your arteries, your veins, and your capillaries. Absolutely. Good job. Good job. All righty. And then we had the lymphatic system, which runs very similar to circulatory. So I usually cover those together. And the purpose of your lymphatics, you have lymphatic nodes or lymph nodes all throughout your body, So if you've ever gone to the doc when you're not feeling so hot and the doc is feeling all up on your neck or feeling, around your chin, whatnot, and feeling on your chest, they're usually palpating or feeling lymph nodes to see if there's any swelling there. The reason that they get swollen is that when a pathogenic organism like a bacteria or virus enters into the body, be it through the mouth, through the ears, through the nose, and that's usually where the most common culprit is, you have a lot of nodes in that area. And those nodes, when that cootie comes into the area, that node hopefully traps the cootie and sends a bunch of lymph and white blood cells to kill it. Does that make sense? So it's just like if you got a bad guy that came in the house, you corner him into one room and you beat him down, okay? And that's pretty much what happens with the lymphatic system, okay? So it plays a role in your like infection and repair and things like that. And then we have the respiratory system, and what organs are included in the respiratory system?
The lungs.
Yeah, your lungs.
What else?
Diaphragm.
Your diaphragm, absolutely. What else?
Your trachea.
Your trachea.
Larynx, right?
How about your nose?
Larynx.
Your larynx and your nose. People always forget the nose because how else do you breathe but through your nose, right? Awesome. And then we have the digestive or the gastrointestinal system. And give me some organs in that system.
Your large
Intestine,
intestine, small
stomach.
intestine,
Your intestines, your stomach,
Colon.
Gallbladder, right?
gallbladder, even though that's more of an offshoot called the hepatobiliary, but we'll include it in digestive for the sake of A&P. But your gallbladder, even your liver, because they do secrete enzymes that begin to further break down foods, carbs and things like that, and proteins and things like that. And then we have the urinary system, and what's included in the urinary system?
Kidneys.
Your kidneys.
Ureter.
Your ureters, your bladder, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and then last but not least, everybody's favorite organ system, the reproductive system. And what's included in the reproductive system?
Urethra.
The urethra.
Vagina.
Actually, we consider the urethra part of the urinary system. It has no sexual purpose, but maybe the vagina. Oh, well, you know what? Hold on, let me correct myself. In men, yes. So in men, yes, the urethra does act as a reproductive system, a reproductive organ. What else do we have?
Vas deferens.
Vas deferens.
Your uterus?
Not your uterus, but your ovaries.
Ovaries, cervix.
Ovaries, your uterus, all of those things, right? Prostate for the gentleman. All right, good job, guys. All right, so let's talk about the purpose of each, and then we're going to hammer this on home. Okay, so the integumentary system, which we said consists of the, and I'll go ahead and mute you guys back again. I'm sorry, because I know you guys, I know the kids are starting school and things like that, so I'll go ahead and mute you. Okay. Oops. Okay, so the integumentary system, like we said, is the largest, and its purpose is to support and protect us. So it's going to keep all of those cooties and anything that is pathogenic or can cause dysfunction or can cause illness from the externals to the internals. Also, our skin or our integumentary system is responsible for maintaining body temperature. So it keeps us at a nice balmy 96.7 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So it keeps us nice and regulated, helps to keep us nice and regulated. Our integumentary system, in particular, the skin is responsible for synthesizing several chemicals, in particular vitamin D, which we get from the sun itself. So in order to have vitamin D, because there's no way for us to get it in foods, yeah, you can take some supplements, you know, vitamin D12 and things like that. But for the most part, in order for you to get good vitamin D, which is needed for calcium to adhere to bones, you got to get out in the sun, and your skin is responsible for the synthesis of that chemical. Also, the integumentary system acts as a sense organ. So it's how we interact with our environment. It's how we can tell things are hot. We can tell things are cold. We can tell when there's danger. You know, it's how we interact with our environment. Next, we have the skeletal system. And the skeletal system also provides us with support and protection. In particular, if you guys remember, the axial skeleton is going to be responsible for protecting most of those core organs that we need for survival. So the brain, the lungs, the heart, the larynx, the mediastinum, all of those wonderful things, right? Also, our skeletal system is responsible for movement. We cannot move without a skeletal system. We'd kind of just be a blob of skin and muscles, just kind of moving around like Jabba the Hutt. So we need a skeleton. We need skeleton. Also, our skeleton does store minerals. So our skeleton stores calcium, small levels of phosphorus. It stores all sorts of kind of minerals that we need in our body. Our flat bones and our long bones are responsible for forming red blood cells. So we'll talk more so about that when we cover the cover the skeletal muscular system. So it does provide us with red blood cells. And in the adult body, there are 206 bones in total. Babies have more because many of their bones begin to merge and harden, especially in the skull themselves. And we'll talk about that when we talk about skull stuff and babies. But babies usually have more bones in their bones because they have to allow for the growth of the brain, the ease through the passage of the birth canal, things like that. So just know that there are 206 bones in the human adult body. And then the muscular system. The muscular system's purpose is for body movement, warmth, and posture. So it also works in conjunction with the skeletal system to get us moving around. It provides us with posture, helps to keep those muscles erect and upright, and it keeps us nice and warm. The nervous system tends to work in conjunction with the endocrine system, but the nervous system is the epicenter of everything. It is responsible for communication. It tells us when to move and when not to move. It tells the heart to beat. It tells the lungs to breathe. It tells the kidneys to pee. It tells the pancreas to secrete insulin. It's the end all and be all. It is also in control of how we interact with our externals, right? So it's the reason that we can actually know that, you know, if we saw a train, that a train was a train, or that a car was a car. It's how we kind of recognize things, okay? And also the nervous system controls the body. So as we know, the nervous system makes, the organs that make up the nervous system are gonna be your spinal cord, your nerves, or your meninges, we can call them the meninges as well, and your brain. And the nervous system and the endocrine system work in conjunction to help regulate body systems. Now, the endocrine system usually are ductless glands. We have an endocrine and an exocrine system. Let me explain the both. In an endocrine system, there are no ducts that hold the hormones. So if you take a look at these individual organs here, okay? Here we have our thyroid, parathyroid on top. We have our adrenals that sit on the top, as well as the kidneys. We have the pancreas here, okay? And then we have the testes. Now, for the most part, these organs are considered endocrine because they do not contain ducts. The hormones only get created and secreted when needed. So in other words, the pancreas, which is responsible for secreting insulin, it doesn't have a place where it houses insulin. It doesn't have like a container. It will create and shoot out insulin as needed. So if you eat, you know, a Big Mac and a big piece of cheesecake and your blood sugar goes up and you need some insulin to counteract, there's no insulin that gets stored. Insulin just gets created and shot out to counteract those that increase for blood sugar, okay? On the other hand, we really don't consider them part of the endocrine system, but we have exocrine glands that do store certain levels of hormones, like your liver, your gallbladder, they store things, but we're only talking about endocrine that create and shoot it out as needed. And those hormones are needed to communicate. So just like I said, your body, remember, your body is constantly wanting to maintain homeostasis. If you eat that Big Mac and you eat those, that cheesecake, no, well, you got Big Mac and cheesecake together, but nevertheless, you have Big Mac and cheesecake together. The body realizes and recognizes that the blood sugar has gone up. And in response to that irregularity, the brain is going to tell the pancreas, hey, you got to shoot out some insulin. Let's get some insulin out so that we can bring that blood sugar back to normal, okay? And then we have the circulatory system. The purpose of the circulatory system, ladies and gents, is for material transportation. So the circulatory system is going to circulate and transport blood, be it oxygenated or deoxygenated. It's also going to send around nutrients. So as you drink water from the GI system, it gets absorbed into the GI system and circulates throughout the circulatory system. Excuse me. If you also eat, say, that Big Mac and you need to pull the protein out of it and the carbs out of it and the fats out of it, it's got to be absorbed in the digestive tract and then it gets circulated throughout the blood system. Also, the circulatory system is responsible for regulating temperature. So when you're cold outside, it's going to try its best to get you to breathe in or keep in warm air and circulate that warm air to keep you warm, okay? Also, and lastly, rather, the circulatory system is responsible for immunity in the form of white blood cells. So if you are fighting an infection, you're fighting a cootie, your body is going to create an increased level of white blood cells, send it to that area, and hopefully kill, kind of disarm that particular pathogen or that bacterium or virus, whatever is in the body, and then kill it, send it out. Same thing with the lymph system itself. Same thing with the lymph system itself. It is sort of a subdivision of the circulatory system. As you see, it doesn't have any clear organs, but it does have little nodes, right? So that's where if a cootie gets in, they kind of back that cootie up into that node and then they kill him there, okay? Also, your body is going to circulate levels of lymph, and lymph is responsible. Lymph returns to the blood by way of the thoracic duct. So let me say that again, it's important. Lymph is returned to the blood. Lymph actually circulates and gets returned to the blood by way of the thoracic duct. So you have the thoracic duct here, and that thoracic duct is going to return lymph back into the blood system. So those guys work hand in hand, okay? The lymphatic system is responsible for the movement of fluid and plays a role in immunity. And examples of organs that do exist in the lymphatic system are going to be like your tonsils, your thymus when you're a baby more so, and your spleen. Now, even though the spleen, I don't want to say it, it's up for dispute whether the spleen does play a significant role in immunity. It does contain some supplemental blood and some WBCs, but if you take it, it's not going to necessarily kill you. You might have some problems with immunity, but that's up for debate. That's kind of like not controversial, but up for debate. Okay. And then lastly, we have a few more. We have the respiratory system, ladies and gents. We have the respiratory system. The respiratory system, ladies and gents, provides oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. So as we breathe in, we take in oxygen, and as we breathe out, we expel carbon dioxide. The respiratory system is also responsible for filtering irritants. So if you're breathing in something that's noxious, like a noxious fumes or, something that you're not necessarily supposed to breathe in, you have little hairs on your nose that hopefully trap those irritants so that they don't get down in your lungs. But they also can trap bacteria and viruses too, because your body's goal is to keep you as healthy as humanly possible so that those irritants don't come into the system. Your nose is responsible for warming and moisturizing air. So your nose does have warm capillaries throughout it. So as you breathe in air, it's going to get warm to your body's temp before it goes in. Your lungs also play a role in acid-base regulation. So normally you want to keep a nice steady, normally like a 7 on an acid-base scale. You want to kind of be right in the middle, very similar to water, certain parts of the body. So your lungs are going to play a role when you need to be a little bit more so on the acidic side or a little bit more so on the basic side. Now, when you have oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange, that occurs at little small sacs in the lungs called alveoli. And they look like little small bunches of grapes, but they're microscopic, they're teeny tiny. And all throughout those little tiny grapes, you have— I didn't understand that. Oh, I'm sorry, my phone's talking to me here. All throughout those alveoli and around them, you have small capillaries. And those small capillaries that appear on the alveoli are where oxygen gets exchanged for carbon dioxide. So let me say that again. That's where the alveoli are where oxygen gets exchanged for carbon dioxide. Okay. And then we have the digestive system. And the digestive system is responsible for breaking down food, right? So it starts at the mouth. Your teeth grind the food and break it down mechanically. Also, when you eat, you have several glands in your mouth that are going to secrete hormones that are further going to break down your food. In particular, your carbohydrates and protein digestion begins in the mouth. So you have that mechanical breakdown with the teeth, and then you have the chemical breakdown of those those like saliva and those salivary like amylase and protease and things like that that are going to get excreted to further break them down. Also, your digestive system is the site of nutrient absorption, and you get those nutrients from your food. So everything good that we need from food, from our fruits and our vegetables, from our water, from our proteins and our grains and things like that, we're going to get from the nutrients from our food. They in turn get absorbed from the stomach or certain parts of the GI system and then go into circulation. And as everything that your body no longer needs, because your body's just picking and pulling everything it needs from the food, ultimately it comes out the body in the form of solid waste excretion, right? So that's where it's going to come out. We have our urinary system, and our urinary system cleans the blood. So our kidneys, blood flows through the kidneys exceptionally rapidly, and it pulls out all of the waste. So things like urea and nitrogen and all of those things that our body does not need gets filtered through kind of like a colander or a sieve, and then kind of migrates down in the form of urine through the ureters, down the bladder and out of the body. But everything the body keeps gets filtered out through the kidneys and retaken up into the blood itself, okay? The urinary system, like I said, is responsible for urine, but not only is it responsible for urine, it also plays a role as part of the endocrine system. So the kidneys and the adrenals do secrete certain hormones, and we'll talk more so about that when we cover endocrine. Our urinary system keeps our electrolytes and our waters in balance. So for example, if you are very dry and dehydrated, your kidneys are going to stop you from urinating because it wants to conserve as much water as possible. If you drink too much water, you have too much fluid on your body is going to urinate and then ultimately get rid of electrolytes or say water balances. So your body surveils everything that's wrong with it and tries its best to fix. And then the urinary system also plays a role in acid and base balances. So once again, if you're too acidic, it's going to push you more to the basic side. If you're more basic, it's going to push you more to the acidic side. And last but not least, we have the reproductive system. And the reproductive system produces sex cells. So it's how we propagate our species, how we keep our species up and live. Through reproduction, we have fertilization, and that is the point that the egg or the ovum actually meets with the sperm cell itself, and fertilization occurs. Usually fertilization occurs in the upper 2/3 of the fallopian tubes itself. So reproduction ends in the reproduction of offspring. Like I said, it's how we propagate our species and the containment of our offspring. And we don't really need to go too much into reproductive because we actually have a whole lecture on male and female reproduction. Okay, so now let me go in real quick and fix the, if you can give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me go in and fix, you know what, let's go ahead and take ourselves a break till 11:45. That'll give me time to fix the 3-minute paper. And then we're also going to play a game. We're going to play Kahoot, and Kahoot is going to help us with your, help you remember some things. Might be some things you might see on your first exam, I'm just saying. So in the interim, you can feel free to go ahead and log into kahoot.it. I'll pull it up for you right there. So let me pull it up for you. Okay, I don't feel like doing it. Okay, Kahoot. Oh, one last thing I did forget, ladies and gents. Many of you guys got an envelope. If you didn't get one, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get you an envelope. Today, I want you to write, and I want you to bring it to me on Thursday. I want you to bring it to me on Thursday. I want you, ladies and gents, to write a letter to your future graduate self. And I want you can feel free, here it is here. I want you to feel free to refer to yourself as you or your. I want you to summarize your current self. I want you to discuss your fears about the program and reassure yourself that you are going to succeed. Identify your beliefs, your goals, and your outcomes. And I want you to give your future self 2 pieces of advice. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that screen up for just a second. Let me share it and change how I'm sharing it. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, do you still see the screen?
Yes.
You still see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Oh, did it change? Okay. So I want you guys to take a few moments. I'll still go ahead and give you your break time, but go ahead and take a few moments and write that letter to yourself.
The website again?
Say again?
The website again?
There's no website.
Oh,
just,
okay.
just look on, I just want you to write a letter to yourself. You see the information. I want you to spend a few minutes, write a letter to yourself, and I want you to bring that letter with you on Thursday. We're gonna put it in the envelope and I'm gonna keep it for you. Okay, and for the Kahoot website, I'll pull that up for you in just a bit, Mr. Aaron. I know that's probably what you meant. Okay, so go ahead and take a piece of paper, ladies and gents, and write that future letter for yourself. I'm gonna give you a few moments, and that'll give me a time to pull up the 3-minute paper while you guys are working on that. And include all of those things. Go ahead and write your letter to yourself. Okay, and I'll give you about 6 more minutes. Okay, I've just been informed that all of the farm books are accounted for. All of the farm books are accounted for. So Miss Williams, Miss Kiwana, did you get your farm book? Oh, let me unmute you guys, sorry. Okay, Miss Kiwana, if you're still on campus, if you go to the back, if you didn't get your farm book and your care plan book, they're there for you. Professor Duhan is back there, so she can give you your book. Okay, about 3 more minutes for your future letter.
Dr. Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
On this, because I just got my orientation binder today. Do I need to take these forms over there to her too?
No, hold off on those. We'll collect them all on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep them nice and tidy together. So yeah, just
It's
leave
just
it in your
some
car.
books. It's just some books I need to go around there and pick up.
Yeah, were you missing some?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, if you're not missing any, you're good.
I think I was missing like a nurse pack or something like that, she said.
Okay, I know the small nurse pack, those are in back order, but if you're not missing any books, then you're good.
Okay.
But since you were on campus, it just made me, think about it since you were on campus.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and take a break. Let's come back at 11:50. We're still doing good on time. Come back at 11:50, and we'll go ahead and do our Kahoot review. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing. And when you come back from break, make sure to sign into the chat, okay?
Dr. Ross.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we get the Oregon system slide back up there?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm gonna put them in Canvas. Which one did you want?
The one that has, I guess, the very first one with the Oregon system, that one?
The
'Cause I
levels?
only got half.
The levels?
Yes, the Oregon versus Oregon system.
Oh, level, okay. Okay, and has everyone tried to get into Canvas?
I wasn't able to.
Okay, still, when's the last time you guys tried?
I can get in there. It's just that I can't access it unless I go through the email that you sent me. When I try to log in, just going on the Canvas website, it won't let me log in.
Okay, no worries. So did everyone receive the invites?
Yes.
Okay, try to go in through the invites.
Okay.
And here, I'll go ahead and pull that screen up again for you. Okay, can you see it? This one
Yes,
here?
thank you. Yes,
You're
ma'am.
welcome. You're welcome. So everybody try to go in through the invites and see if you can work, if it'll work for you. And if you need a copy of this PowerPoint, it's there for you. It'll be in Canvas for you. So you guys let me know if you're able to get in. If anybody needs to be reset, let me know as soon as you can so that I can send a message to Sandra so she can get you reset.
Can I get a reset?
Okay, have you went through the email?
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay.
And then for the Kahoot, what was that website?
I'll pull it up for just a sec. When you guys take your break, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up for you. The Kahoot, and let's go to the Kahoot. All right, there's the Kahoot website. So when we come back from the break, that's where we're gonna do the Kahoot, okay? So come back at 11:50. Okay, and Mr. Aaron, I'll get you reset. I'm gonna reach out to her now to get you reset.
All right, appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gents, let's come on back. Make sure everyone's on camera. And sign into the chat. Don't forget the chat. All right, welcome back. Make sure everyone's on camera. There's one little caveat I did forget. I just got the information that your ATI has been set up for you. Can everyone log into ati.com? Preferably if you can use the Chrome browser. That's the best way to do it. Log into the ATI account that you set up. Okay, and everybody log on in. Let me know when you've logged in the ATI. There's some information I'm going to have you all do. If everybody can come back on the camera, we're back up and running. Let's get back on the camera. Don't forget to click into the chat. Okay, and if you can go to atitesting.com, preferably utilizing the Chrome browser. If you don't have Chrome up right now, that's okay. You can use Firefox. I don't want you to have to download it right now. All righty, once you are in, ladies and gents, is everybody back? Let's see, is everybody back? Okay, we got a few folks on the camera. Okay, there we go. So everybody should be back. Make sure you type in the chat. Okay, what I want you guys to do is once you're in your ATI, there should be a little button. Usually it's like in the middle somewhere. It says add product. Do you guys see it? You can just shake your head, yeah, now. Add product. Okay, go ahead and add product. And then you're going to type in this product number, including the C, D, and N. Type that in exactly as you see it on my screen. And then all of your stuff should be loaded. Your cohort is 0721. Okay, your cohort is 0721. So if you ever need information about what ATI cohort you're in 0721. Okay, once you add your product, you should be able to see all of your information. Go in there and play. You won't hurt anything. I ask that you don't do any of the skills modules yet until, and Farm Made Easy until I can set the dates up for you. Well, I'm sorry, not the skills modules. The Farm Made Easy, you can feel free to, and I'll go over how to access that. You can start those at any time. But just keep in mind, if it is late based on the date that you submitted, then it won't be counted.
So I added product, but am I doing it on the, I think I did it on the wrong page because it says learn, test, improve, apply.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's exactly it. I'll show you how to get to Farm Made Easy tomorrow when we have pharmacology. But that's right. But you guys can feel free. You won't hurt anything. You won't break anything. Just click in there and just play around, okay?
If I make a new account, I can still use my personal email address, okay?
You can use your personal, who's asking that one?
Me, Brianna. If I make a new account, because I have one before.
Right, now if you have one before, you do have to make one that is for CHCP.
Okay, so do I use the same email address? It might tell me I still.
Right, so you might have to create a separate email address, yeah. So just create, just create like a little dummy email address.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right, a little dummy email address, and then that way you'll be able to access. But I won't send any correspondence to that email. Just I'll send it to your main email that we have on file for you. Okay. All right, so like I said, you guys can play at your leisure. So let's go ahead and Kahoot once everybody has added those products. So this is the website for the Kahoot.
And then for the cohort, I do have the number. We don't add it anywhere though.
No.
to have it.
That's just for your reference.
Okay.
Just for your reference. If you ever have any, like if you ever have to call ATI for anything, they're going to ask you what cohort you're in. You're in 0721. Yeah. Sometimes if you have technical difficulties,
Dr.
you
Ross,
have different cohorts.
could you go back to the other page? Because I'm having a hard time adding the information to my ATI.
Oh, okay. And you hit add products.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then type in CDN 008. This one here, product ID.
I didn't understand.
Can you show what it looks like when you add it?
Right. I can. Let me see, because mine looks like I have faculty account, but hold on, let me see. Let me do a copy and paste of it. And hopefully I can, if I can change it to student view. Okay, so it'll probably look a little something like this. Okay, and then at the corner here it says add product. Can you guys see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Product. And then I'm just going to copy and paste that and hit continue. And see, it's for, I'm faculty, so it won't let me add it. But then it's right there, it should add it for you.
So once it's added there, is it supposed to show up anywhere else? Because the only other place I see any information about it is where it says like my test.
Right, that's where you're supposed to be. So you should see something like test, learn, practice, or something like that.
Okay.
Right, and then once you click into those different things, like so here, like I'll go into like my ATI. And in my ATI, this is where you're gonna see all your stuff.
Right.
You'll see learn, test, improve. Now, a lot of the stuff may be locked down. We have to open it for you. So, but some of the stuff should already be opened.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't pop up in my learn, it just pops up in my test.
Okay, yeah. Test you won't see because that's where your exams are going to be. So you're not going to see that. But improve, you can play. But we're going to be, we just got access, so we haven't had a chance to open up your stuff. But still, just familiarize yourself with the site itself. Okay. All righty. So let's go ahead and Kahoot so I can get you guys done so you can have lunch.
I'm sorry, what was the ID, the product ID again?
Again, product ID. I'm going to send this to you guys. The product ID is this one here. So you can write it down if you want. Oops. You can write it down if you need to. Okay. Okay, you guys got it?
I'm still making an account.
Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll just write down the ID and you can do it at your leisure because I don't want you guys to be late. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and Kahoot. Everybody, you can use your phones for these if you want to. You can use your phone. That way you can see the item on the screen, but you can use your phone if you want to log into Kahoot. And now I'm going to go ahead and log into it for you.
When setting up your account on ATI, they're asking for an institution name.
That's College of Healthcare Profession.
On mine, it's saying that the product is not valid or something like that.
College not found?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, might have typed it in incorrectly. Okay, well, hold on. Let's do this first because I got to get this done. Okay. And then we can, hold on. I'll hang around a little bit afterwards, okay?
So it's Kahoot.com?
No, it's Kahoot.it.
Okay.
Should be Kahoot.it.
It's asking me for a game pin.
Okay, I'm getting ready to pull that up for you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the game pin. And I want you to make up, instead of using your real name, I want you to come up with a funny name. Come up with a funny name. How you feel right now. Turn the music off.
Where it says my ATI? Oh, add product?
Okay. All righty. go ahead and type in how you feel. Okay, so I should have 18 players. I think it's 18 of you guys. Somebody feels sneezy, somebody feels red, somebody feels exhausted, somebody feels kilolo, I guess. Somebody feels hungry, somebody feels tired.
What's that
Somebody has a
product
deep
number?
sigh. I know it's over. I told you in the interview it's gonna be a lot of information thrown at you. Can only have 10 players, so I'm missing some folks.
What's the product ID number?
This is for her Kahoot.
This is
not-
Kahoot. We're not doing ATI
Yeah.
right now. Hold on, I'm gonna stay behind to do ATI for you.
It says the game pen isn't working now. Hold on.
Okay.
It could be my connection. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it down.
Okay, make sure everyone's on camera.
Give me one. Okay, my internet came back up. Let's see.
There's too many pages.
Oh, you have too many pages up? Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh. Can I?
Okay, I'm missing some folks. What? Everybody log on.
I can't find where to go to type in the game pen.
Or it should be Kahoot.it.
Yeah, I made my account already, but it's not letting me type in the pin.
Oh, there's the pin right on it up here.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. I'm in.
That's okay. The pin's there.
I think I'm in. Does it show you if I'm in?
What's your made up name?
Oh, I didn't make up a name.
Oh, okay, because it would say player, so I don't think you're in yet.
Do I hit start?
No, not yet. I haven't started. Well, yeah, you can go ahead and hit start, but we haven't started yet.
It shows me like the players and everything, but it hasn't asked me my name. Where do I put my name?
Are you using your phone or your computer?
It's my computer.
Oh, I don't know. Y'all gotta help. I don't know. Anybody else using your computer?
I'm confused. What?
Let me try it through my phone.
You should just try it from your phone.
Yeah, it's probably better to do from the phone. All right, 'cause we're missing 8 folks. Come on, 'cause I don't want you guys falling behind. Okay, everybody, you ready to get started?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Dr. Ross,
Yes.
where do I add this game pin at?
Are you on your phone or on your computer?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Okay, yeah. Once you log in, you guys help her out because I'm not sure. Well, here, let me try. I've never tried it as a player. Yeah, as soon as you go to Kahoot.it on your phone, it should ask you for a game pin.
It just told me it asked for my birthday in the name.
Okay, it should ask for, and then a
Right,
nickname.
put your birthday in your name. There should be like 4 little cubes, color-coded cubes. Click on that, and then you can put your code in.
Where do I go from here? Can y'all see that?
Wait, who talking? Let me see.
Okay, I think I got almost everybody. I think I'm missing one person. I think we're missing one person. All right, we're gonna get started. All right, you guys ready?
No.
No, who's not ready?
I just don't see it. It don't give me that option.
Okay, well, we'll do it afterwards. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, but that's all right. As long as you see on the screen, doesn't matter. As long as you get the information. Okay, ready?
Okay.
All right, so let's review. Look on the screen, and you're going to answer accordingly, guys, okay? This term refers to the study of the structure of the body.
Anatomy.
Don't call it out. Go and hit it on the. And it also looks at how fast you answer too. So All right, anatomy, absolutely, absolutely. So remember, we said the term that refers to the structure of the body is anatomy. So what term refers to the function of the body?
Physiology.
Physiology. And then what is homeostasis?
Balance and maintenance of the body.
Balance.
Environment.
Your body's ability to try to maintain balance, right? Now, I didn't mention anything about the word cytology. Who picked cytology? That word didn't come out of my face. Pay attention. All right, so Wakanda Forever is number 1. All right, followed by Isha B, Superwoman, Nurse, and Sneezy. Okay. This directional term refers to the front of the body. All right, good deal. And remember, superior is the top of the body, not the front. All right, somebody pick posterior. Guys, be careful what you're picking. Posterior is back, right? Is the back side. Okay, all righty. Let's keep going. Okay, Isha B is coming from behind. All right. Let's keep moving. Which is not a level of organization. Which is not a level of organization. Select carefully, guys. All right, molecular, absolutely. So which is the smallest?
Cellular.
And
Cellular.
which is the largest?
Organism.
Organism. Good job. All right, Isha E still on top. Wakanda forever. Okay, let's keep moving. What is the opposite of proximal? Opposite of proximal. All right, distal. Okay, man, it's not medial, guys. Make sure distal is the opposite of proximal. What is the opposite of medial?
Lateral.
Lateral. Awesome. All right, let's keep moving. What part of the neuron transmits the impulses away from the body? Don't even worry about it. I don't think I mentioned this, but don't worry about it. Just take a guess.
Wait, what part of the neuron transmits the impulse?
Body away from the neuron. Don't worry about it if you don't. Just take a guess. I don't think I went over that. We're going to cover it more so in neuro. So. All right, but took a fantastic guess. That's going to be the axon, that long tail looking thing. So just so you know, let you know, this is going to be the axon and takes it away. But don't worry about it if you don't know. We're going to go over that. All righty, let's keep moving. Which of the following is not an organ system? Which of the following is not an organ system that I mentioned? Absolutely, the limbic. We did mention the circulatory system because what's included in the circulatory system?
Heart.
Okay, so make sure you guys are paying attention. Integumentary system includes? Absolutely. Limbic. Actually, the limbic is part of the neural system, but I didn't even mention it. Okay? All righty. Good job. Which organ is a part of the digestive system? Absolutely, the esophagus. The pancreas is part of which system?
Endocrine.
The endocrine system, absolutely, it's part of the endocrine system. It's going to secrete those insulin, right? And other hormones. All right, keep it moving. Which two systems are responsible for communication and control of the entire body? I mentioned that they work together. All right, good job. No, it's not lymphatic and skeletal. Not the control. Oh, accident? No worries. Okay, I'm gonna assume that all these wrong answers are accidents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So nervous and
My
endocrine.
phone froze.
Yeah, mine
Sometimes we have those runaway
froze.
thumbs, right? All righty. Which of the following organ is not a part of the integumentary system? Not a part of the integumentary system. Awesome. That's going to be your teeth. Your nails, skin, hair, sweat glands are all part of the skin, part of the integumentary system. The teeth are part of which system?
Digestive.
Nah. Oh, yeah, but yeah, by that. And what else could they be?
Oh, skeletal.
Skeletal, because it's bone, right? Absolutely. But I do like for digestive. That's perfect. Perfect. All righty. Last but not least, what type of connective tissue is similar to bone, but is more elastic, flexible, and bristle-like? I didn't talk about it, but take a good guess. It's elastic, flexible, and bristly-like. It's going to be cartilage, absolutely. Cartilage, absolutely. So let's see who won. Ready? In third place, we have Super Nurse. In second place, we have Superwoman. All the supers have it. And final, last but not least, Hungry. All right, who's hungry?
Me.
Who's me?
Nakia.
All right, Hungry. Now, since you're so hungry, go get something to eat. All right, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and break. Go ahead and try with your ATI. I'm gonna send you the information for ATI, for your ATI, to add your product. It also has some instructions on to follow. I'll email that right to you. Come back at 1 o'clock. Mrs. Duhan is going to have you for med admin, so please utilize her Zoom information, okay? Utilize her
Dr.
Zoom.
Ross. Have you selected the groups for Thursday and Friday?
I have. She's going to go over all of that for skills. That's her.
Okay, perfect.
So she's going to go over and post all of that, and it might already be in Canvas if you can access it. For those of you who can't get in Canvas, don't forget to log in with your information. Use the invite that you've gotten, and when it comes to password, I want you to select forgot password and have it reset. If you have any trouble with it, just text me, let me know, and I'll get you reset.
Dr. Ross.
Yes.
Did you by any chance teach at Chamberlain?
Yeah.
You just got a compliment. I just wanted to let you know that.
What's that?
You got a huge compliment from one of your students.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I did used to teach at Chamberlain. I did indeed. So, yeah, that was leadership at Chamberlain. I didn't teach. I was a dean. But either way, but still. But so you guys enjoy lunch, and I'll see you back at 1 o'clock. I'll see Mrs. Duhan back. Also, when you come back, guys, try to come back with a calculator because we're going to do some math. So come back with a calculator because we're going to do a little math, okay? All right, guys. See you at 1.
Thank you.
Dr. Ross.
You're welcome.
Dr. Ross.
Yes.
I was trying to sign in on the new ATI account. I'm trying to open one, but it's saying that the username is already taken.
Oh, you already set one up? You did first name dot last name?
Well, I used to have I mean, obviously we all had the other one and it was in the reverse. It was Castillo Rebecca. Now I was trying to put Rebecca Castillo, which is what is on this paper, and it's not opening. It's telling me that username already exists. So what do I?
Okay, you can just put Rebecca Castillo 1.
Okay.
Just put a number 1 on the end or number 2 on the end. Okay, and do you still have the product code?
No. Well, I mean, no. What's the product code?
Okay, here, I had it up. Hold on, let me pull it up for you. Hold on, I'll share my screen. All right, and you guys can if you didn't have any further questions, you can log off.
Okay.
I have a question, Dr. Ross. So for my ATI, it's showing, it shows that it told me that the product was added, but when I go to my ATI, it's not on, there's no products in Learn, there's no products in Improve,
We have to
Apply,
make them available to you. Remember I said we have to make them available to you.
Okay, because the only one it shows is the test.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, we haven't made them available to you yet. We have to open them up. She just set them up this morning at 7:45. So.
Dr. Ross.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
It's about payments. I went to the school and I tried to pay, but the financial aid wasn't there. So what should I do?
Who's your financial aid person?
I'm not really I don't remember. Do I just call them and see?
Yeah, you want to see who your financial aid person is. You know what? Or try to ask your admissions rep. They may be able to tell you too.
Okay, there's no way we can pay online?
Now that would be an admissions question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just back in. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to reach out to. I don't want to tell you incorrect, so you might want to reach out to your admissions, and they can tell you who your financial aid person is. Because I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
Dr. Ross. I think when I set up my ATI thing, y'all wanted us to do it like Kiwana.Williams. I didn't set it up like that. So do I need to go in and redo it? Because it won't let me change the username.
Okay, yeah, you have to set up another account.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it right this second. But yeah, go and set up another one with Kiwana.Williams, and then you utilize this product code. I'm getting ready to email you guys all the product code right now, the information.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it have to have the dot? I made mine and it's just Cindy Chubb.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, as long as it's first name and last name. Yeah, it should have.
It's my first and last name, but I put like a number on it because of my other.
If you put a number on it, yeah, that's fine.
Because it says Kiwana Williams 46 because I had to switch it up from my other one.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. Do we sign back on this Zoom meeting?
No. That's what I said. You have to go in and sign under Mrs. Duhan. So
Okay,
Mrs.
and
Duhan
then
is going to be next.
She sent an email for 12:30. Do we do it at 12:30 or at 1?
No, you're going to come. No. I just emailed her, told her you guys are going to be back at 1:30.
1 or 1:30?
1:30. Oh no, 1. I told you 1. I'm sorry, 1. Come back at 1. Come back at 1.
What is our student ID number?
Now that I don't know what your student ID number is.
Because it says on institution info, it has for the institution.
Oh, you can bypass that.
Okay, and then no credentials, and then just put expected graduation date of 8/20.
July 21, because your cohort is July 21.
Oh, I thought they had told us August.
It is August, but I'm just saying your cohort with graduation date is July 21, so put in July 21. But if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
And for the Canvas reset, I haven't gotten it. So
Okay, you gotta wait. I sent you an email and CC'd you from Sandra. So I sent that to you already. They just gotta wait for her to get back to you.
Okay, all righty then.
Okay. So everybody's coming back at 1?
Yes.
What did I say? 1 or 1:30?
1.
1? Okay. Yeah. Everybody come back at 1.
Okay.
Dr. Ross? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I tried to forget password and send it to my email, but I haven't received anything to my email from Canvas.
Okay. So we need to reset you then. Okay. I'm going to CC you on it. Let me send it to her now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you then.